The French national team has always been led by stars. From the Platini era to the Zidane era, and now the Mbappé era. Whenever France won an international tournament, there has always been a player up front who is literally the best player in the world. And in the upcoming international tournament, it's no different. Despite a shocking defeat to Switzerland in the previous Euros, there is something that France has been working on that makes them contenders to be champions once again this time around. To understand why France is different this time around, we have to understand what exactly France did to win before this.
The
Platini generation helped coaches to train young players with a new psychology.
See, Les Bleus have always been above everyone else in the game of football, and to understand their secret ingredient to perform every single time on the big stage, we have to understand something called the star power effect. I have to show you the role this effect has had historically on the French national team. France's first golden generation of players came in the late 1950s. Led by Jules Fontaine, they reached the semifinals twice in back-to-back international tournaments. Then in the 1960s and 70s, they saw a massive decline as many of their stars were out of their prime. France failed to qualify for the 1962 World Cup and the 1964 European Nations Cup. Thankfully, this all changed thanks to the emergence of Michel Platini. Thanks to Platini's brilliance in a 3-1 win against Bulgaria, France secured qualification for the 1978 World Cup, their first appearance in the World Cup finals since 1966. Platini was made the captain of the French national team after 1978. His star power carried France as he scored a free kick to defeat the Netherlands in a crucial qualifying match for the 1982 World Cup. France unexpectedly reached the semifinals of that World Cup thanks to Platini. Then in 1984, Platini did the impossible. Scoring 9 of France's 14 goals in just 5 games, Platini helped France secure its first major title in international football. He was the top goal scorer of the tournament, and when Pelé is talking about you like this, you know you have done something well. Unfortunately for France, Platini was not in peak physical shape going into the 1986 World Cup as he was dealing with a groin injury. Without star power, France ended up losing as they didn't have someone that could create moments of magic. While Platini scored 2 goals and provided 1 assist in 6 games, he was far from the player we saw in 1984. Without a star leading the national team, France began to crumble. They failed to get to the 1990 World Cup. Then 2 years later, they were eliminated in the 1992 Euros group stage. Then under Gérard Houllier, France failed to qualify for the 1994 World Cup. Labeled as the Les Bleus American Nightmare, it was a shock around the country. Something similar happened in the 2020 Euros when Mbappé missed the horrific penalty against Switzerland.
And Mbappé is the one!
Mbappé was a far different player than what we see today. He's now more experienced and has led a team to a World Cup final, and has shown that he can perform when the stakes are the highest. It's literally a pattern that Les Bleus repeat every 20 years with their stars. Back in 1994, fortunately for France, there was a new star emerging. While the Platini era had ended, the Zidane era was just beginning. The squad consisted of experienced players from the failed 1994 World Cup qualifiers such as Cantona, Blanc, and Deschamps, along with talented young players like Zidane and Thuram. France got all the way to the semifinals of the 1996 Euros, losing on penalties. The positive to take away for the French was that Zidane had shown the superstar player he could be, coming off the bench to score 2 goals against the Czech Republic. Going into the 1998 World Cup, Zidane was now the face of the team. There were some new talented youngsters around Zizou like Vieira, Henry, and Perez, but Zidane was the main man. France went undefeated through the tournament, defeating Brazil 3-0 in the final. An incredibly impressive result considering Brazil was led by R9, who was considered the best player in the world that year. Zidane's 2 goals in the final, however, showed that Zizou was here to take the crown. Shouldn't come as a surprise that just 6 months later, Zidane was named the FIFA World Player of the Year. Now crowned as the best, Zidane led France to another trophy, winning the Euro 2000. France became the first country to hold both the World Cup and the Euros since West Germany in 1974. They got the #1 spot in the FIFA World Rankings and even won the Confederations Cup in 2001. The French national team, whenever they've achieved anything, there's been a messiah that's taken them over the line. This current squad works the same way, just instead of Zidane leading the line, This time, it's Kylian Mbappé. But there is a huge problem with this system. There is a huge dependency on one player to outshine the rest. And we have seen this system fail once when Zidane got a thigh injury. As reigning world and European champions, France entered the 2002 World Cup in Japan, Korea as favorites, but without their star man. France knew they would struggle, and they did. Without their talisman, the French failed to score in either of the matches Zidane missed. He was rushed back prematurely for the third game and couldn't prevent France from being eliminated. A very similar story to what happened to Platini in 1986. In Euro 2004, Zidane was no longer in his prime. Zidane bailed out France in the opening game with a free kick and penalty to beat England, but France were still eliminated in the quarterfinals. After the tournament, Zidane announced his retirement from international football. With no Zidane, France struggled to qualify for the 2006 World Cup. Zidane actually had to be begged to come out of retirement to help them win games. That's how much France has historically relied on their stars. Zidane did come back, putting together a phenomenal World Cup campaign. He was awarded the Golden Ball as the player of the tournament. He played so well that he was forgiven by the French for headbutting Materazzi. The French love their superstars, and they should. Without them, they would have not had the success that they have had. Zidane retiring for good sparked a similar downfall to what we saw when Platini retired. From 2007 to 2015, France performed poorly. Despite the strong performance in qualifiers, France ended up in last place in the group stages in the 2008 Euros. They had a good team, but Henry was old, Benzema was too young, and guys like Ribéry and Anelka were not at the superstar level of Zidane. The same story happened in 2010, where the French were once again eliminated in the group stages. There were no leaders on the team, leading to drama off the pitch. Anelka, for example, was sent home during the World Cup because he verbally insulted Raymond Domenech during the game against Mexico. There was so much drama behind the scenes that the day after the team's elimination, it was reported by numerous media outlets that the president of France would meet with team captain Thierry Henry to discuss the issues associated with the team's meltdown at the World Cup, at Henry's request.
I always want to participate, but the boss made his decision to not play me at the World Cup, and I will always respect and accept that. It wasn't easy at the time, but I don't regret anything. I think things happen for a reason, and I think for the French team and French football, it's time to move on and make sure that they can be again successful.
Quelle est la première raison du fiasco?
La première raison du fiasco, qu'on n'ait pas bien joué.
With France being in such a poor situation, only the rise of a superstar could get them back to winning ways. And that's where we are now, the Mbappé era. France had some success before Mbappe's introduction to the world. Thanks to Antoine Griezmann, they had gone all the way to the Euros final. But Mbappé has become the face of the nation, France's new superstar. In 2018, he was only a teenager, but he wowed everyone with his blistering pace and incredible dribbling. He played with the maturity of a veteran, not an 18-year-old in his first World Cup. No surprise that he won the 2018 Young Player of the Tournament award after scoring 4 goals. Mbappé, along with Griezmann, Pogba, and Kanté, had rejuvenated France back to their best. In the 2020 Euros, France topped the group of death, a group containing Germany, Portugal, and Hungary. They were shockingly eliminated by the Swiss in penalties in the round of 16. But for me, this was a one-time lapse in judgment. Mbappé couldn't finish the ball that day, and the back line fell asleep. 2 years later, we saw the true qualities of France in the World Cup. France topped their group and managed to reach a second successive World Cup final. Mbappé went toe-to-toe with the greatest player of all time at just the age of 24. He won the silver ball and gave France a chance to win when it looked like they were going to collapse. Star power has always been the main factor that has helped France win international trophies. Mbappé is a superstar, and he has all the same abilities that we saw with Platini and Zidane. An ability to create a moment of magic from absolutely nothing. The PSG superstar will now captain the country. Just like the 1998 and 2000 team, the superstar won't be alone. Griezmann has arguably been as good, if not better, than Mbappé. There's just less people that talk about him. Griezmann is an exceptional creator, a unique type of player who has excellent technical ability, but also an unlimited work engine. The perfect piece to link the midfield to the attack. Then you have guys like Moussa Diaby, Dembele, Thuram, and Kolo Muani, who can create opportunities with their movement and speed. Thuram has been so good for Inter, and France have the luxury of bringing him off the bench against tired legs. Kolo Muani was millimeters away from making history, completely changing the dynamics of that World Cup final when he came on. There is no doubt that he can do something similar in the Euros. While Pogba and Kanté are no longer on the team, France has still managed to produce a new generation of amazing midfielders. Tchouaméni and Camavinga can easily play as the double pivot. Camavinga is like a spider with his ability to track down players and win the ball back. Then you combine him with Tchouaméni, who has the same passing range and ability on the ball that we saw with Pogba. Let's not forget this banger he scored against England in 2022. France's defense is arguably the best part of their team. Deschamps is spoiled with choice at center back with the likes of Konate, Upamecano, Saliba, and Pavard. In fact, this team is so good that Saliba probably won't start despite being one of the best center backs in the world this season. Then at left back, Theo Hernandez is easily, in my opinion, the best left back in the world right now. Solid defensively and exceptional going forward. At right back, they have Jules Koundé. While reports indicate he doesn't like playing there for Barca, this guy is special. So solid defensively, the perfect balance to allow Theo more freedom to get forward. France topped Group B in qualifiers with a perfect record. Mbappé finished as the third top scorer of the qualifiers with 9 goals and was second in assists. History has shown us time and time again that the success of France lies in the brilliance of their stars. Extraordinary talents of players who rise above the rest. Michel Platini and Zinedine Zidane are names that are remembered forever in football, having carried the dreams of a nation to glory. Now, as we look towards the next international tournament, a new wave of hope emerges in the form of Kylian Mbappé. With the speed and precision of a world-class player, Mbappé represents the next chapter in the legacy of French football star power. Surrounded by a team that blends youth with experience, Mbappe's role goes beyond scoring goals. He's a symbol of inspiration and leadership on the pitch. Supported by a cast of other incredible talents, France is on a mission to reclaim their throne. The legacy of Platini and Zidane is in good hands. On top of Mbappé, France is going to have to rely on Antoine Griezmann. To see how good Griezmann has historically been for the French national team, check out this video right here.